Here's a quick little video on the O2 Nano wiring. So on the O2 Nano, you have a yellow with a red striped wire. This is the analog output. If you are using CAN with a FuelTech ECU, these are the CAN wires, and this would plug into the A plug of the 450, 550, and it would plug into the B inputs plug of the 600. So if you are using CAN, you do not need to use the analog output. So what I do is, it comes with this plastic type sheathing on it, and I cut it back, and I just basically do a custom kind of fit on it. But if you're not using it, I wrap all this up, and then I just cut it back here so that it's out of the way. It's not going to ground on anything when I put this back around it. So I'll do something like that. That way you can't see it. It doesn't short on anything. It's tucked in there. You do not need the yellow wire if you use the CAN. Now, I know that the O2 Nano wiring can be a little bit confusing, and there's 3 different sizes. So there's like a 3 foot, a 6.5 foot, and a 15 foot. And the differences are, it's not how long the power and ground wires are. It's how long the O2 sensor wiring is from the O2 Nano. So this is the O2 Nano plug, and this is the O2 sensor plug. So it's the measurement from the O2 Nano to the O2 sensor. It is not the measurement of the unterminated harness. So if you are typically on a bike, I sell all 3 foot harnesses because it's so close to the exhaust pipe. And a lot of times, if it's a Hayabusa or ZX14 or something like that, I'll run them down the left side of the bike where the factory wiring goes, and I'll run it across the engine, and then I'll bring the O2 sensor up and across the engine and plug it into where kind of like the starter motor is for the starter engine. And that usually takes up to 3 foot. I don't have to cut it down or customize it, and all the wiring comes down the left side. If you want to bring it down the right side, or you have a different bike combination, say you have a chassis bike where it comes through the neck, all your wiring comes through the neck. If you mount the O2 in the front, then it's probably going to be super short. You're probably only going to need maybe a foot of wiring. So what you can do is you can cut it down. You can cut it down, cut it off, just like I did here. And FuelTech sells an O2 sensor connector with all the pins and the seals. And I usually keep a couple of these in stock. And you can cut those, strip this back, and you can cut it to length, pin these wires onto it, and then I always keep this around so I know what color wires go where. So it's always nice and handy to kind of keep this around, or at least till you're done wiring it, so you know where the wires are pinned at. The O2 Nano wiring, just simple. This plugs right into the ECU CAN A. And just a little overview of the O2 Nano harness. I know the lengths can be a little bit confusing, and I get a lot of questions about that yellow wire on there. And the yellow wire you don't need to use.